Of Nelson Mandela. You will know Clarkebury, the Wesleyan missionary school that he attended with his cousin Justice, at the time the biggest education centre in Timberland. In recent history, the school has been struggling, but that could soon be a thing of the past. His granddaughter, Ndileka Mandela, along with friends like Tim Tabiela, have taken on the responsibility of giving Clarkebury a new lease on life. Ndileka joins us in studio to talk more about this. It's good to have you on the program. Welcome to Morning Live.
Well, thank you. Morning, Leanne, and morning to the listeners.
First and foremost, how is the family? How are you all keeping up?
Well, we're battling. Well, let me say I am battling.
Yeah.
Because as opposed to the general South African population and everybody else in the world, when their loved one passes on, you know, after the funeral, they sort of move on. With us, it has not been like that. First, our mourning was splashed all over the papers and we're constantly on camera. And even after the funeral, you're sort of not allowed to move on as such. Not that I blame people, I understand the stature that granddad, the person that he was, but you're not confronted, every South African is not confronted by billboards and pictures of their loved ones after the funeral, which we are. You know, as I was saying, chatting to you earlier on, that I had gone away for about 10 days to Mauritius, and when I came back, because I had not been seeing his face on a daily basis, when I landed at the airport at OR Tambo, the first thing I saw was just this billboard saying, you know, may he always live on. It hit me like, it was like physical, you know, pain, and it's a pain that you're not allowed to forget, because he's constantly there. But I appreciate the fact that, you know, he will always live on in people's hearts, and I would not be sitting here were it not for him and the struggle icons.
Yeah, that's the truth, and it's a different angle of looking at things, but we can certainly respect how you feel, because it is. I wouldn't want to know what that feels like, having to see that every single day. But let's talk about something, and something that I know would be very close to his heart. You know it, and that's why you've embarked on this. The condition of Clarkebury when you first went to examine it, what was it like?
You know, it was the mayor, Lamla Gioso, the mayor of Ingcobo, that had said to me in 2012, Ndileka, you need to take up the school, because not only did your grandfather go there, you also went there. I spent a brief stint of 6 months, because at the time Clarkebury used to be a teacher training college. So he said to me, you need to go there on Mandela Day. Then I said to him, look, on this day, because I would love to be with granddad, let's schedule another day. I then spoke to Tim Tabiela. Tim Tabiela said, look, although I'm doing something else, we'll do it at a later date. We then went to Clarkebury. I think it was around the end of July of 2012. We went there on a fact-finding mission of, you know, what it is that's needed at Clarkebury. When we went there, we found out that, you know, they were building a precinct. The provincial Department of Education, Basic Education, had taken up the school, but we're going to construct 10 classrooms, new classrooms, and the precinct where granddad used to attend, they were converting the whole precinct like an all multi-purpose center, a woodwork room, a sewing room, and a science lab. And because we had gone there with SABC, and SABC said, okay, for the science laboratory, we're going to take it up and kit it with state-of-the-art equipment, which they did hand over. I'm quite happy to say.
Amazing. Last
year they handed over, in July on Women's Day, it was handed over to the school, although they still have to have some training to train the teachers on how to use some of the equipment. But the sewing room still need equipment, the woodwork room still need equipment. And we also discovered that there were 2 hostels where I used to stay, and there was a new hostel. And these hostels have been vandalized in complete disrepair, to an extent that the students that are living far away don't have a place to stay at, because this school services a lot of schools, and because the school results have been proven year in, year out, most students want to go to Clarkebury.
Yeah. So this is a long-term objective. of
It
yours.
is a
I mean,
long-term
This is a project you've adopted
Yes,
and
yes.
moving forward, and you've got help. I mean, you've got lots of
Yes,
people helping
yes,
you.
I've got a lot of help.
We're running out of time, but I
Yeah.
mean, I just have to share in the glory. 90.5% matric pass rate this year. Last year, 2013.
Yes, it is. It is.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
with 30 of those students having gotten varsity entrance
Yeah.
exams, and Samsung came on board when the principal called me and said, "Look, come and help. I organized some Galaxy tabs to help these students." But I have to say, I'm making a plea to all South African businessmen, because what I saw in Clarkebury of students that hunger for education, sleeping in a small room, 30 of them, and with mattresses stacked against the wall. These students, their only crime is just that they want education.
They're desperate for education.
They're desperate for education,
Yeah.
and they don't have a place to sleep.
How do we help? How do we get hold of you in order to, if corporates want to get involved?
I will give you a number that they can call, because I'm really pleading. Let us help these students
Okay.
have a place to sleep.
Good. Will you leave a number with us?
Yes, I will
And then
leave a number.
we'll certainly read out that number. We'll give you that number. If you want to get involved, please do. It's for a great project. You can already see how much has been done. 90.5% matric pass rate in 2013. And that's got to tell you a lot for how far the school has already come. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so
Ndileka
much,
Mandela, and the work that she's doing for the Clarkebury Wesleyan Missionary School. All right, let's take a break. We'll have more after this. Stay tuned.